Hello, everyone. Andy here from Andy's Credit Corner. Thanks for tuning in. So, for today's video, I'm going to discuss my hotel booking strategy, what I look for in hotels, what types of hotels I'd like to stay in, what chains of hotels, and how I get value out of my hotel stays. So, first of all, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I talk about credit cards, points, miles, and other travel topics. So if you haven't done so already, be sure you hit the subscribe button to stay tuned for more content as I post it in the coming weeks. Because I'm going to have a similar video on my airline booking strategy coming out pretty soon as well. So as far as the types of hotels that I'm looking for, I generally go for more basic ones. Nothing really fancy, like in terms of big fancy resorts or anything like that. I don't like really dumpy motels either, but I just like something simple and modern and clean and basic. I do appreciate hotels that offer a free breakfast buffet in the morning because that's one less meal that I have to pay for when I travel. And I will also add that I often travel solo, so I'm not necessarily looking for a big room or anything like that. I'm just okay with one king bed, for example, or in some cases, even just one twin bed, as is common in Europe in many cases when I've been over there. That generally gets the job done for me. As far as which hotel brands or hotel chains that I look for, I do tend to stay at Hyatt's a lot, mainly because of the fact that I am able to transfer my Chase Ultimate Rewards points as well as my Bilt points to Hyatt, and of course I get good value out of those transfers, as of course you've heard on this channel before, you've heard on many channels before. Hyatt is a favorite among Chase and Bilt users. However, that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily beholden to Hyatt. I am open to staying at other chains, and I've also stayed at many independent hotels during many of my travels, especially internationally, where it's not as common to find the familiar American hotel chains. You'll have some chains that are based in those countries. You'll have a bunch of independent hotels as well that are not affiliated with any chain. And of course, there was one trip that I took that was a multi-day group tour. So there was a third-party agency that booked my hotel stays. So it's not like I would have earned any points off of those hotel stays anyway. And as it's possible that I may book some more trips like that, that is one consideration that I would make as well. As far as hotel status goes, I don't currently have hotel status with any hotel chain. There was one time when I briefly did have hotel status, and that was with Hyatt when Bilt Rewards was offering a status challenge. It took place for a few months earlier this year in 2023, where Bilt users were able to activate Explorers status for a period of time. And if you had stayed a certain number of nights in a certain time frame, then you would have locked that status in for the next year. Or if you were to stay even more nights, then you would have even gotten globalist status with Hyatt, which is their highest tier. But for me, I only just had the one night during that time, and so my status has since expired. So I'm just a basic member with Hyatt now, and I'm just a basic member with any other chain that's out there. However, it is possible that I could attain Hyatt status once again in 2024 because of the fact that I currently have 7 nights that I'm staying at Hyatt in the early part of next year. And if you get 10 nights at a Hyatt, then you would achieve Discoverist status with them, which I could potentially have in 2025. So I would only need 3 more Hyatt nights next year in addition to the nights that I've booked right now in order to get that status. And I believe that is very doable. I might take like another weekend trip later in the year or something. I do think I'm going to make that a goal of mine in 2024. Though I want these trips to be organic. I don't want to just do mattress runs. I'm not really a big believer in that sort of thing. But I think it is very possible that I could achieve Discover status next year without getting the Hyatt credit card. The next topic I'm going to touch on is the method that I like to use to book hotels. I do tend to prefer booking hotels directly with them as opposed to through a third-party portal. Because when you book directly, it's usually less risky. Like if there's a change or if there's a cancellation or something, you're not going through a third party. And also, if you stay with a chain hotel, you could earn points with that hotel, and also you could work your way towards status. Having said that, I do hold a couple of credit cards that give you travel credits, and one specifically for hotels. One of those credits being the $300 credit that you get every year with the Capital One Venture X card. This is not specifically a hotel credit, but rather it is a $300 travel credit that you would use through the Capital One travel portal. And when I first got that card back in August of 2023, I was thinking I would use that credit for a weekend getaway somewhere. because there's a good chance that a $300 credit would cover maybe a 2-night stay somewhere, give or take. However, in the case of this year, I ended up using that credit toward a flight instead. So I may potentially use that in future years as I hold the Venture X. The other travel credit that I have is a $50 hotel credit on my Chase Sapphire Preferred card. I have actually yet to use this credit even though I've had that card for almost 2 years now. I'm just not seeing a whole lot of value in that credit, and given the fact that that card is a only $95 per year card, as opposed to $395 for the Venture X that I mentioned, it's a lot easier to make up that value elsewhere. There was one time I was looking to maybe use that $50 credit when booking a hotel stay, but in a lot of situations, you'll get a better rate when you book directly rather than when you book through a portal. And so this credit would have effectively been something like a $27 credit as opposed to a $50 credit. So I just did not think it was worth it for that reason. And finally, I'd like to touch on the topic of hotel co-branded credit cards. I don't currently have any of those at this time, but I figure I may want to get one or two of them at some point. I am thinking that I might like to get the World of Hyatt card at some point due to the fact that I stay at Hyatt a lot, as I mentioned earlier. However, I don't think the Hyatt card is the best hotel credit card out there due to the fact that it has a rather weak sign-up bonus. It doesn't have a very good footprint of hotels compared to other hotel chains out there. It only gives you Discoverer's status, where some other hotel cards will give you even higher status. And I'm not thinking it may be totally worth it to get that card, given that I'm already able to transfer points easily from Chase and Bilt, as I mentioned, for good value already, unlike other chains out there, where the transfer value is much more mediocre. Another hotel card that I'm thinking that I might get sometime is the IHG Premier card. IHG is a program that I might like to get into sometime because of the fact that Holiday Inn Expresses are pretty much okay for what I'm looking for. Simple, basic hotels with free breakfast, that usually checks the boxes with me. And the IHG Premier cards have a lot of good features for a hotel card. It gives you Platinum status, which is IHG's second highest tier status. And it also gives you some other benefits on that card. So I may look into that one at some point. And there are also the Marriott Bonvoy cards, specifically the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless card, and then potentially maybe the Marriott Bonvoy Business card as well. Marriott has a big footprint, one of the largest hotel chains in the world. They have a good international presence as well. Those two cards give you a free night every year, which I appreciate. And they often will have good sign-up bonuses as well. Maybe they'll give you 3 free nights or 5 free nights after opening the card and spending a certain amount of money. So I may go for that one at some point if the sign-up bonus is good. If I ever find myself staying at Hilton hotels, then I might take another look at the Hilton Surpass card, or potentially maybe the Hilton Aspire card if I stay there a lot, or if I start staying at resorts. But I think as of now that those cards are not really on my radar. And then of course there are the cards from Choice and Wyndham, which some people will find a lot of value in those cards. But I'm just not really interested in staying at Choice and Wyndham very much. I think a lot of their properties are not as nice as some of the other chains. And so I'm not interested in either of those cards at this time. So there you have it. That's what I look for in hotels, how I like to book hotels. Some of you out there may be able to relate to the things that I just said. Others may have a different approach. Maybe you like more upscale hotels. Maybe you have completely different strategies. I was thinking I would make this video to see how it compared with others out there. So feel free to leave in the comments what you think of my strategy and what your thoughts are. And once again, I'm probably going to come out with a similar video for my strategy on booking airfare. So again, make sure you hit the subscribe button to be notified when that video posts. And also please hit the like button if you got some value out of this video today. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching.